All right, so we're going to start standing. I think you guys can see me there. We're going to take our arms up overhead, taking a breath in. As we exhale, we're going to dive forward, chin to chest, and then bone by bone, we're slowly going to curl down through the spine. We're going to inhale at the bottom, and then exhale as we scoop in through the middle, tucking the tail under, and slowly restacking the spine, bone by bone. Inhale at the top, exhale, chin to chest, just gently softening through the knees, and exhaling as we slowly curling down through the spine. So the arms are just heavy. We want to keep the weight in the heels and feeling that nice stretch up the back of the hamstrings through the back of the spine. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, scooping in through the middle, and then we're slowly restacking the spine. So we want to have tummy on, we want to have our bottom switched on. We'll do one more here. Inhale at the top, and then exhale as we slowly curling down. Alrighty, inhale at the bottom, and then exhale as we slowly restack, bone by bone by bone. Alrighty. Nice work, guys. So we're going to take our hands behind our head. We're going to go into a little bit of side bending. If your hands aren't happy behind your head, though, you can just cross them over your chest. But otherwise, what we're going to do from here is we're going to inhale, and we're slowly going to do a side bend over to the left, lengthening out through the side body, and then exhale as we slowly come back up to tall. And then we're going to inhale as we lengthen in the other direction. So getting that length through that left-hand side of the body. We want to make sure we're not crunching through the bottom side. So we're lengthening on both sides, and then slowly restacking your spine. We'll do one more in each direction, getting that nice length through the side body, looking up towards the sky and just keeping nice and wide through the collarbones and through your elbows. Slowly coming back up. And we'll just do one more to the right-hand side. So think about length rather than crunching to the side. And then slowly coming back up. All right, we're just going to finish. We'll bring our arms back down. We're going to do a couple of heel rises. So we're slowly going to rise up onto your tippy toes, balancing up on the top, and then we're going to slowly come back down. So as we do our heel rises, we want to imagine like you're peering over your neighbor's fence as you do these ones. So we want to go straight up. As we press through your feet, I want you to think about pressing through all toes and imagining you've got a button under the ball of your foot. So pressing through the ball of the foot and then slowly coming back down. We've got 3 more here. Squeezing the backs of the legs, keeping scooped in through the middle, and then slowly coming back down. We've got 2 more. Rising up into those tips toes, slowly coming back down. Our last one, we're going to hold at the top. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into a bit of a knee bend. So we're going to slowly squat down and then slowly come back up, keeping up on those tip toes. We've got 4 more. Bending the knees, coming down, and then coming back up. Last 3. That's it. Working on that balance as well as on a little bit of leg strength. Last 2. We've got 1 more. And then we'll slowly lower the heels back down. Give our legs a little shake. And we're going to come down to our mats now. And we're going to have a lay down onto our backs. So we're just going to set up with our, in a nice long spinal position. So we want to have our, we're going to have that little gap under our lower back in our neutral spine. So enough space to have a little butterfly under there, not allowed to fly away, not allowed to get squished. All your back ribs will be connected to the mat, nice and wide through the collarbones, shoulder blades gliding down your back. With your breathing, as you inhale, we want to think about expanding your rib cage out to the side and into the back. And as we exhale, we're fully emptying, taking full breaths in and out. So with our, we're just going to add in some little leg movements from here. So we'll take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, we're just gently going to float your right leg up into your table. And then inhale as we slowly lower that leg down. And then without anything shifting, we're slowly going to float your left leg up. Inhale as we lower. And then exhale as we gently float the other leg up. So we're just moving it, getting our movements happening with our breathing. Being mindful that there's no rotation through those hip bones. So we're going to keep that nice level pelvis. Inhale as we gently lower the leg down. And then exhale as we gently float the other leg up. So as we go through these movements, we just want to be mindful that we're not starting to tense through our necks. So keeping that nice long spinal position and nice and wide through the collarbones. We've got one more each side. And then from here, we're just going to bring our left leg up, and then we're going to lower it back down. So we're just going to do one leg only. So lifting through that pelvic floor, drawing in through those TAs. So that gentle scoop through the abdominals. We've got 3 more, and then we're going to do our single leg floats on the right side. Last 2. And last 1. Slowly placing that left leg down, slowly floating our right leg up. And then we're just again focusing on keeping that same position under our lower backs. So we're not over flattened through our lower back. It's that tiny little gap under there. And it should stay in that same position as you go through the motions. So you can do this, the slower you go with these, the more awareness you'll have of any shift. We've got 3 more here. Last 2. And last 1. So placing that right leg down, we're going to float our left leg up, and we're going to just speed it up a little bit. So what's going to happen this time, as we lower the left leg down, we're slowly going to bring your right leg up. As you lower your right leg down, we're slowly going to float your left leg up. So this will put a little bit more load through the lower abdominals. We want to, again, really focus on making sure that there's no shift. So you can keep your hands just on top of your abdomen, if you like, for that little bit of feedback. We want to make sure we're not pressing those abs out, and there shouldn't be any tension in the lower back. We've got 3 more here. Last 2. And last 1. We'll just bring that left leg up to meet, and we'll just give those knees a hug in for a moment. All right. So we're just going to bring our legs into tabletop position next. So we'll have our right leg up, and then we'll slowly float our left leg up just to meet. So we're going into our tabletop toe taps. So we'll do one leg at a time to start with. So we'll do right leg only. So breath in to prepare. As you exhale, we're slowly going to take your right leg down just to tap the mat. And then we're going to slowly float that leg back up. So we're just going to do the one side just for a moment. As you're doing this, I just want you to be mindful that you're keeping that gentle scoop through the belly, that there's no shift through the hips. We want to think about gently squeezing the back of the leg to give a little bit of assistance and keeping that scoop in through the belly. We've got 3 more, and then we're going to swap sides. Should you feel any tension in your back, you can just do these You can do a little bit of a smaller tap, so you don't have to take the leg all the way down. We've got one more. We'll bring that right leg up, and then we're going to do the left leg. And just notice to feel if there's any difference on either side. Exhaling as we lower, and then inhale as we float that leg back up. You should feel a little bit of a warming up across your lower tummy. And just being mindful that those shoulders aren't going to tense up at all. So still keeping that your back ribs connected to the mat, your shoulder blades gliding down your back. We've got 3 more. Last 2. And last one. Just bringing that leg up to meet and knees into the chest. All right, we've got our final lot of tabletop toe taps. So for our final lot, we're just going to alternate. So we're going to inhale, prepare. As we exhale, we're slowly going to take one leg down to tip the mat. We're slowly float it back up. And then we're going to slowly take the other leg down to tip the mat. And then slowly bring it back up. So just alternating sides, working with the breath. If breathing feels more comfortable for you, breathing out going down or breathing in going down, just find which one works for you. Just be mindful that we're not holding our breaths. All right, we'll go for 3 more each side. Last 2. Slowly taking that leg down, slowly floating it back up. And last one. Beautiful work, guys. Just bringing those knees in for a hug. We're going to place your feet flat onto the mat. And we're going to go into our pelvic curls. So we're going to set up, so your feet will be hip width distance apart. Just have a look to make sure your knees are level, so they both should be the same height. Arms are going to be long beside you. We'll take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, we're going to tuck the tail under, scooping in through the belly, slowly peeling our spine up off the mat, lifting up into a bridge. Inhale at the top, and then exhale as we slowly lengthen back down. Getting as much space between each vertebra as possible. Inhale at the bottom, and then exhale as we slowly curl back up. So I want you to think about pressing evenly through both feet. We want to keep those hip bones as level as possible. Inhale at the top, and then exhale as we soften through the rib cage, lengthening out through the spine, slowly coming back down, rolling it out. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale as we scoop and lift, curling back up, pushing evenly through both feet. Inhale at the top, and then exhale as we slowly come back down. We're here for 3 more repetitions. So as you're rolling through the movement, I want you to really think about activating through the backs of the legs. So squeezing the bottom, squeezing the hamstrings, drawing in through the abdominals, slowly coming back down. So with this exercise, you shouldn't feel as though you're lifting with your lower back. You should have all the support happening from your bottom, from your hamstrings and through your core. Slowly come back down. We've got our last one. Slowly curling up, and we're going to hold at the top. From here, what we're going to do is we're just going to go into some single leg lifts. So we're slowly going to transfer the weight into our right leg, slowly floating our left leg up into table. We're going to slowly tip our left foot down to the mat and slowly float it back up. So what we're looking for here is making sure that we're keeping the only thing that is moving is that leg that's slowly floating up and down. So everything else should be staying nice and still. We've got 4 more here. So digging deep through those abdominals. Last 3. Floating that leg up and slowly bringing it back down. Last 2. Slowly lowering down. And last one. Placing that left foot on the mat without anything shifting. We're slowly going to bring that right leg up into table, and we've got our single leg floats on our right hand side. So slowly tapping to the mat and slowly floating it back up. So we're here just a little bit longer. What you really want to be mindful of when you do this one is making sure your hips aren't twisting out to the side. So you want to really think about squeezing through the backs of the legs, squeezing the bottom, keeping that length through the lower back, and keeping nice and strong through that foot that's on the mat. We've got 3 more here. Last 2. And last 1. Placing that right foot onto the mat. And then we're going to slowly lengthen out through the spine. And just giving those knees a hug in just for a moment. All right, we're going to place our feet back onto the mat, hip width distance apart, arms long beside us. Breath in to prepare. As you exhale, scooping in through the belly, tucking the tail under, squeezing through the backs of the legs, killing up into your bridge. So we're going to do a march with our feet this time. So we're going to keep our hips nice and level. We're slowly going to float that left leg into table, slowly placing that foot down. And then without anything shifting, we're slowly going to bring the other leg up. So it's nice and slow. We're keeping nice and strong through the whole back body, being mindful that those hips aren't rocking out from side to side. So even if you need to come down a little bit lower with your hips, if you find that when you're in that higher point that you're starting to shift out to the side, we just want to find that position which you can maintain, that lengthened spine position and the level hips. So as you do this exercise, you shouldn't feel any tension into the side of the hip bones. We've got 4 more. That's it. So digging deep through those abdominals. You can use those shoulder extensors to press into the mat for extra stability. We've got our last 2 to go. That's it. So nice and slow. And last one. And placing that last foot back down, lengthening out through the spine. And just giving those knees a hug in at the bottom. Beautiful work, guys. All right. So from here, we're just going to come into a side lie position. If you have, if you like, you can place a little cushion underneath your hip. If you would like just a little bit of added comfort or support under there. But otherwise, what we're going to do is we're just going to have our legs stretched out long. Our arm is going to be long underneath our head, just supporting, your head can just rest onto your arm there. Let's place our front hand is going to go in front of, just in front of your chest, and that's just going to be there for a little bit of stability. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our hips and shoulders stacked. We're going to scoop in through our middle, and we're slowly going to lift both legs, stretching them away, and slowly lower them back down. So exhale as we lengthen the legs away, zipping up through the middle, and inhale as they come back down. So we're not looking for a big crunch here. We're just looking for controlled movement. So we're working through the waist with this exercise here. We're here for 5 more. Last 4. 3, 2, and 1. All right. We're just going to keep, from here we're going to keep our bottom leg is going to be just hovered off the ground. And we're going to continue lifting with our top leg only. So it's going to be a nice controlled lift up, controlled as it comes back down. If you're feeling any tension just in the corner of your low back, I just want you to make sure that you keep your tummy scooped in And just be mindful that your hips haven't rolled back. So your hips should be stacked on top of each other with this exercise. We're here for 3 more. Exhale as we float. Inhale as we come back down. Bottom leg is stretched away. And last one. From here, we're just going to hover our top leg away, and we're just going to do bottom leg lift and lowers. So we're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just letting both legs come down and just relaxing there for a moment. We're going to go into our clam series next. So we're just going to bend our knees to about, I think 60 degrees, knee flexion. We're going to have our, shoulder, hip, and ankles will all be in alignment. We're going to have our heels stacked and our knees stacked, hips stacked. So I like to put my top hand just on top of my hip bone, and that can feel to make sure that as you do the movement that you're not rocking forward and back. From here, we're going to keep the heels tight. We're just gently going to squeeze the left knee up, keeping the heels together, and we're slowly going to lower that leg back down. So gently squeezing the knee up and gently letting it come back down. So the only thing that's moving is that left thigh bone, top thigh bone. We're going to make sure that there's no shifting through the hips. So we should feel a little bit of a warming up into the corner of your bottom. You shouldn't feel any tension into the side of your hip. So really focus on making sure that those hips stay stacked. We've got 3 more, 2 more, keeping those heels nice and tight, and last one. Okay, our second exercise here is going to be a clamp, but instead of keeping our heels tight, this time we're going to bring the whole leg up. So we're going to be lifting up the whole leg and slowly lowering it back down. Keeping the leg the same, exact same position. So knee and ankle will lift together and slowly floating back down. Now you don't need to go into a really big range for these ones. I only want you to move within the range for which you can maintain the same hip position. So if each time you're lifting up really high and you're taking your whole hip back, you probably won't be feeling the same burn into the glute as what we're feeling here. So we're looking for that hip stability. We've got 3 more here, 2 more, and last one. And just lowering that leg back down. My butt is definitely starting to warm up now. All right, we're just going to finish with our hip circles on this side. We won't do too many. Let's do 8 in each direction today. So we're just going to lift that top leg up, just hovering it above the bottom leg. We're going to bend the knee in towards our chest. We're going to lift the leg up, take it back behind, and then bring it back around in front. So squeezing taking the thigh bone around in a circle. I just want you to draw your circles the same height within the range which you maintain the same hip position for. So you want to keep that tummy scooped in and keep your nice regular breathing rhythm. And trying to draw some nice round circles with that thigh. We've got 3 more in this direction. We've got 2 more. And last one. Just resting that leg down for a second. Oh. All right, just circles in the backwards direction now. So just hovering that knee just above the bottom knee. Take the leg back behind, floating it up, around in front, and then back behind. So we're here for 8. So I don't mind how small they are, as long as you're keeping your hips stacked. We've got 4 to go. Last 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, having a lay down onto your back. We're just going to pull that top knee into the chest. We're going to take the opposite hand onto that across the knee, and we're just going to take that knee across the body just to stretch that bottom out that we just worked. Beautiful work. That should feel super yummy after that glute work. Alrighty. We're going to go into, we're going to stay on the same side that we were just on. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to set up with our forearm, propped up onto our forearm. So we're going to have our elbow underneath our shoulder, and we're going to have as much length through our waist as possible. We're going to go into some side plank holds. So they're just, we're just going to go for 5 seconds, but we're going to do 5 rounds. So you can do these with your knees bent, or we can do these with a straight leg position. But we'll start in 3, 2, and 1. We're just going to lift those hips up, pressing through the forearm. 3, 2, and 1, and then slowly coming back down. Okay, that was round 1. We've got 4 to go. And let's go, round 2. So if you like, you can do them with your legs stretched out. 3, 2, and 1, and then back down. 3, 2, 1, let's go, round 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, relax, back down. Last 2 rounds to go, and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax those hips back down. Last one. Let's aim for 10 seconds for our last one. 3, 2, and 1. So lengthening through the waist, pushing from underneath the armpit, keeping that big gap between the ear and the shoulder. 3, 2, and 1, and relaxing back down. Beautiful work, guys. We're going to do one more exercise in this position. So this time, actually, no, we're not. We're going to do the other side. So just swinging those legs around to the other side. We're just going to set up for it in our side lie position. So we're going to have our arm out stretched underneath our head and our legs stretched out long, hips stacked and shoulders stacked. So we're going to start with our double leg stretches. So we'll keep our legs nice, feet tight, ankles tight, and we're just going to slowly lift those legs up and slowly lower them back down. So zipping up through the waist, keeping that length through the midline, keeping those hips stacked. And as you stretch your legs away, think about making sure that we're not crunching through that side body there. So when we're laying on our back, we've got that little gap under our lower back for our butterflies. When we're laying on our side, we have our little gap underneath the bottom there. So be mindful that we're not squishing our butterflies or letting them fly away with this position. We've got 5 more here. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. All right, setting up for our second exercise. We're going to keep those, we're just going to hover the bottom foot off the ground, and then we've just got our single leg raises just with the top leg. So floating that top leg up and slowly controlling it back down. Keeping scooped in through the middle, just working with that range, within the range, which you can maintain that nice pelvic stability. So there should be no rocking or rolling through the hips. The only thing that's moving is that leg that's gently floating up and down. All right, last 4 here. Last 3, 2, and 1. Just relaxing those legs there for a second. Our final ones in this position here, we're just going to hover our top leg up, not too high, and then we're going to slowly bring our bottom leg to meet the top leg and then slowly lower back down. Exhale as we stretch, zipping up through the middle. Inhale as we control as it goes back down. So we're getting that nice, we should be starting to feel a nice warming up through our midline with these ones. Inner thighs are warming up as well. Keep that top leg nice and strong and making sure that those hips aren't rolling forward and back. We've got 4 more to go. Last 3, 2, and 1. And just lowering that top leg down. All right, setting up for our clamps. We're just going to bend our knees till they're in about, we want about 60 degrees for knee flexion. We're going to have our shoulders, hips, and ankles all in line. And we're going, I like to just keep that top hand on top of the top hip, just to feel to make sure that those hips aren't rolling forward and back. So having that as much length through the spine as possible, lifting from underneath the waist. We're just going to go into our clams on this side. So keeping the heels tight, we're gently going to float that top knee up and then gently bring it back down. So working within that range, only for which you can maintain that pelvic stability. So the only thing that should be moving is the right leg. Keeping the heels nice and tight, scooped in through the middle. You should feel this one into the corner of your bottom, not into the side of your hip. So we've got our last 5 here. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just letting that leg relax for a second. Moving on to our whole leg lift. So we're going to keep that same position through the spine, same position of the leg, but this time as you bring the knee up, we'll bring the bottom half of the leg up as well, and then slowly bring it back down. So the booty should be starting to warm up now. Exhaling as we scoop and lift, and inhale as we control it back down. So this one again, I don't mind how slow you go as you do these ones, but really being mindful to feel for any shift. We've got 5 to go. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Just letting that leg just relax for a second. Alrighty, so we've got our circles. We've got 8 in each direction. We know what's coming here. So we're just slowly going to float that top leg up. We're going to bend the knee in front towards the chest, drawing a circle with our thigh, taking the leg back behind and then back around. We've got 7 to go. Keeping those hips stacked. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just relaxing there for a second. We're just going to reverse those circles. So just hovering that leg up, taking the leg back, lifting it up and around, and then back behind. So 7 to go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just relaxing that leg down. We'll just have a lay down onto your back for a moment. We're going to bring that top knee into the chest, hugging it in. And then using the opposite hand just to take that knee across the body, getting that stretch through the lower back and into that bottom wheel, just working. Taking some nice deep breaths. All right. So we're just going to untangle ourselves. We're going to come into our side planks on the other side. So we've got the option to do these. You can have straight legs or your bent legs. We've got 5 rounds of 5 seconds. So with this exercise, so we'll be propped up onto our forearm. So we're going to keep that as much length through that waist as possible. We'll go for our first round. So let's go. So we're just going to lift those hips up, pushing through the armpit, keeping nice and long through the spine. 3, 2, 1. Resting down. And into round 2. Let's go. So keeping nice and strong through that midline. Keeping a regular breathing rhythm. And then bringing those hips back down. We've got 3 to go. Gently Lengthening out, lifting up. 3, 2, and 1. And then coming back down. Last 2. So making sure we're not sinking into those shoulders. And slowly floating back down. All right, we've got our final one. So we've got the option to go for that 10 seconds to the last one. So let's go. Keeping that length through the waist. Keeping the tummy scooped in. 3, 2, and 1. Lowering those hips back down. And then we're just going to come into our prone position. So we're going to have a lay down onto our tummies. And we're just going to anchor our hips to the mat. Just resting the your forehead onto the mat. Our palms are going to be flat, our forearms flat, and our elbows just beside us. So we're just going to anchor our hips to the mat. From here, what we're just going to do is we're just going to inhale as we slowly lengthen through the spine, gently lifting up the chest, stretching the legs away. We're going to exhale as we slowly come back down. So inhale as we lengthen through the front of the chest, slowly lifting up into a back extension and then slowly coming back down. So we're here for 3 more. Inhale as we lengthen through the spine. And then inhale as we slowly come back down. Last 2. Inhale as we lengthen through the chest, through the spine. And then slowly come back down. Last one. Inhale as we lengthen. And then slowly come back down. From here, we're just going to stretch our arms out in front. Lengthening our legs away. We're just going to lift our chest up just a little. We'll have our nose probably about 10 centimeters away from the mat. And from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to go into a slow swim. So we're just going to stretch our right arm, left leg away. Slowly lower back down. And then we're going to stretch a left arm, right leg. And then slowly come back down. So slowly alternating sides. What you're looking for here is to make sure that there's no rotation through the hip. And then we're not sinking into the lower back. So rather than going for height with our swim, we're going for length. So getting those arms and legs stretched away from each other. 1 more each side. And last one. Lowering arms and legs down. We're just going to drop down into a puppy pose position. So we'll be in a 4-point position with our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We're slowly just going to walk our arms forward, keeping the hips above the knees, and just dropping the armpits down, getting that nice stretch through the shoulders and through the back. Okay, we're just going to come into a 4-point position here. So we're going to set up with our knees underneath our hips and our hands underneath our shoulders. We want to be in a nice long spinal position. So we want to make sure we're not over curved or over arched through the back. So getting that nice length through the spine. And from here, we're going to go into our bird dog. So we're slowly going to stretch right arm, left leg away, keeping that length through the spine, scooped in through the middle, and then slowly bring the hand and leg back down without any shift through the spine or hips. Then we're going to slowly do the other side. So left arm, right leg, stretch away, scooped in through the middle, and then slowly place them back down without any shift. We've got 1 more each side, stretching away. And then slowly bring it back in. Last one, left arm, right leg, scoop and stretch. And then slowly bring it back in. So we're going to go back to our first side. So we're going to take right arm, left leg. We're going to hold that right arm stretched out. We're going to slowly lower our left leg to the mat and then slowly bring it back up. So keeping that length through the spine, scooping in through the middle, and we're just continually going to lift and lower that left leg. So we've got 3 more, 2 more, and last one. Slowly bring right leg, left leg, right hand in, and we're just going to finish on the other side. So left hand, right leg, stretching away. We're slowly going to lower our right leg and then stretch it back up. No shift through the spine, so nice and slow. Keeping scooped in through the middle. Nice and strong through that right arm. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower the hand and leg back down. We're just going to finish in a child's pose. So big toes together, knees out nice and wide, stretching those arms out in front, taking some nice deep breaths.